We have dipped once and now we're dipping again for a double dip into Not an Island. So we're going to be doing the hard game of Not an Island. What makes this different from the basic game which we did yesterday is that one, we are going to be using the difficulties of the situations and the power of our different resources. This is something I have mixed feelings about. I like just being able to creatively use things however you want, but sometimes having those limitations kind of could force you to be even more creative. So we'll see what that's like. The other thing it changes is we're going to be making value judgments about the solution we take. Now, this is something that probably works better with a group. In fact, this whole game probably works better with a group, but we're just doing it solitaire. Unless you're here, you can have some input. So how to make value judgments. Well, we're going to use as a guide a bit more philosophy. That's a section in the rules here. A bit more philosophy, which I'll read to you now. In theory, every situation offers a chance to do harm, to do good, or just be neutral. In theory, every resource is an opportunity to do harm, to do good, or just be neutral. In reality, most situations don't clearly involve bad or good, just ordinary happenings, straightforward stuff. In reality, some situations very clearly invite harmful responses or are opportunities to do some good, while some resources clearly can be used for good or for harmful purposes. Consider the acts. All right, so we're going to use that as a guide. So last time I was trying to find a bit about a spider that I thought was supposed to show like a good way to solve an issue, but I can see some flaws in it. It just depends on your perspective, and that's where this could be. We could just spend a lot of time debating here. So here's the scenario in the book, and you can think whether you think it's good or bad or whatever. How about this? The scout looks in... Okay. Where is it? Okay, once upon a time we began our journey, etc. And blocking our very narrow path was this giant tarantula poison spider. We all stood very quietly looking at each other. What could we do to get by? So that's just talking about how you can tell a story. And then it goes on, and the only thing they could think of is to kill the spider, and so they pass, because that would be a bad thing. So then someone comes up with something that they think would be a good thing. They have the Boy Scout, which we used last time. Then how about this? The Scout looks into his bag and pulls out a jar full of bugs. He takes out the huge bugs he knows are the spider's favorites and puts them down in front of the spider, who gulps them up, and with its tummy so full, gets sleepy and goes off to the bushes to nap. We then tiptoe quietly by so as not to waken the spider and continue to our journey. All right, so that takes care of the spider, but I don't know how it's like any more good than just killing the spider with a Swiss Army knife, which was the option they had passed up before. Because to me, from the bug's perspective that's getting devoured, I don't know, maybe it's good because then they're freed from being trapped in a jar for their whole life. Maybe it's better to die than to be imprisoned forever. I kind of think that might be the case, but I don't know what it's like to be an insect. Nevertheless, let's start our journey. Once upon a time, not that long ago, we left in search of the legendary lost time chamber. We set out and we came upon a boa constrictor. We remember this boa constrictor from yesterday. Boa constrictor's challenge 5, so we can't just use anything. I actually organized everything ahead of time. That was very thoughtful of me. Normally I would make you watch me do it. So all the 5s are over here. So let's look at what we have for 5 resources that we can use. We have number 48, which looks to be like a cityscape of some sort. A city center, services and goods available. What do you want to buy and put to use? An opportunity to go for almost anything. Okay, so we don't know what setting we are in. I guess we're in a jungle. So I don't know if we could really use the city center. Then we have an ET multi-use high-tech machine. So this is like kind of like the magic potion in Princess. You can do pretty much anything with it. So we'll save that. Then it looks like a genie bottle, I think, which is probably also something we should save. A bejeweled oil lamp. Is there just lamp oil in it? How easy is it to pry out some of these jewels? And you might think twice about rubbing it. You could gain the ability to look into the future. Okay, it's got a 1+1, which lets us look ahead that might be a good one to save too. And then we have a book. This book looks promising. An old book, Religious Alchemist, an ordinary book of stories, maybe a book of prophecies. So that's also something that I kind of want to save. It's hard. I don't want to use any of these 5 ones. A handshake. This is the symbol of making friends, being friendly, finding cooperative ways to relate to each other. Not always easy to do, but very, very powerful when accomplished. Oh, and then we've got eye power. That's this one right here. You have deep, hypnotic, mesmerizing power that can control living things and inanimate things as well. That seems pretty useful. And then we also have a fairy princess. So all of these are kind of like you could use those to beat most anything. I think the mesmerizing eye is a little more specific. And so we're going to go ahead and use that right now. So we gaze into the boa's eye. He gazes back and we feel connection for a moment. And then we feel ourselves grow drowsy, just as the boa constrictor was drowsy. And we let ourselves give into that feel. We've established this sympathetic connection with the snake. And as we fall asleep, so does the boa. All right. So now we're traveling in dream time. We're dreaming. Oh, was that good or bad or neutral? We have to remember to figure that out. I'm going to say it's neutral. We helped the boa get some sleep, but he was asleep before we showed up, I think. Wasn't that what the card said yesterday? If he wasn't asleep beforehand, then yeah, he appeared to be asleep. So we woke him up and then we returned him to sleep. So I don't know that we really did any good. We just kind of, it would have been just the same as if we were never there, right? Okay, so let's move on. Here we have the dark forest. We saw this yesterday too. With a road in it, as you can see from the picture. Okay, so it's a 2. We have to use something to get by it. What do we have? We kind of want to just use our 2s. We don't want to have to use something stronger than possible. So let's look at, we only have 3 2s. That's on the far right here. Let's look at what we have. We have a shovel and a pail full of coal. Metal, coal, shovel. That's what it says under the description. Then we have some gentleman in shorts, or a lady in shorts. Your skirt, maybe. Sometimes just turning your back and walking away takes more courage and works best of all. Ooh, I like that one. All right, so let's go back to the story. So we set off into this jungle, and then it gets dark. I think that's what it is. And then we have, it looks like a step ladder, but in case there's some, it's a step ladder. It doesn't seem like much, some wood, a few steps. Okay, so I think what we do is we see this dark woods and we're like, we don't even know this is the way we're supposed to go. We don't have to go into the dark woods. It's possibly unsafe. Let's just turn around and walk a different way. And again, I'm going to say that's a neutral thing. I don't know that we've made the world a better place by walking away from the dark woods. Maybe we helped out some plants that we would have tromped on, but I'm not going to count that. That's a little too nitpicky. Uh-oh, this is that angry man again. Okay, I maybe didn't shuffle these very well. We're getting a lot of the same ones we did yesterday. Okay, so he's really mad at us. We turn around to walk away and we bump into him. And I think, what did we use to fix him last time? A rose. Oh, his flower wilted. He's like, you gave me a flower. I thought it was really nice. But then I was carrying it all day and I felt really good, like it was the best day of my life. And then the frickin' thing died. He's like, well, I'm sorry it was dead because we cut it and gave it to you. Well, we didn't cut it. We found it. We just had it. I don't know why we had it. We just had it. But it wasn't attached to a bush, so of course the rose is going to die. He's like, well, you shouldn't have got my hopes up. I thought it was a really nice thing, but what am I going to do with a dead flower? Okay, well, you could, well, maybe don't do anything with a dead flower. What if would you prefer to have something very useful that doesn't die because it was never alive in the first place? Like, oh, I mean, you don't have to give me anything, really, but it's just been so long before you gave me that flower. It was so long since anyone's done anything nice for me. Like, well, you know, where do you live? It's like, I got an apartment. Okay. Do you have a step ladder? Because sometimes I find that's helpful for changing light bulbs, and you know, you could consider that a housewarming gift. Really? Yeah, my apartment does have light bulbs. I would really appreciate that. I've been up until now standing on a chair, but it seemed kind of unsafe. Well, I want you to be safe. Okay, thanks. So I think that really satisfies him more than the flower. And hopefully the stepladder doesn't break and we run into him again and he yells at us about that. All right, here we have our supplies ran out. You remember this from before. That's a 1, so that's not a problem. I mean, we can use anything. What's that 3 there? This one, number 46. Oh, is that like a fish? Is that tackle fishing supplies? I really don't want to go fishing. Fishing gear. Nets to capture, line to tie up, sharp hooks to catch food or to injure. Ooh. And then, who's this fellow? Number 20. We have a nature guide. Let's use the nature guide to help us go around and get some supplies and whatnot. I don't really want to try to use the coal for that. So the nature guide will help us get food and like get through the nature for a while, and she lets us look ahead. Here's that convict. That's coming up next, so I think that'll turn up, and then we'll look at this one too. So we'll see the next one. And then, yeah, the drugs. This is not shuffled at all. I'm gonna, since we'll keep the empty supplies, but I'm gonna reshuffle the rest of these and redeal them out because I don't want to have just everything exactly the same as yesterday. We had the convict and then the needle as well. Maybe I didn't shuffle it. I was kind of in a hurry when I set this up. I did it earlier today, so I don't remember what I did. So the nature guide got us through the empty supplies. We've done 3, and we're doing a long one too. So we're doing 20, I think, 20 different situations. And we've got 2 on the table, so 5. So we need to put 15 more down. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh gosh, we're only supposed to look at the next 2. I'm really goofing it up. 1, 2, 3. We need to put down 12 more. Flower. Oh, I like this guy. 5 out of the baboon again. 6, 7. Then we'll go back around. 8, 9. Oh gosh, I turned him face up again. I'm doing fine. I'm not worried about it. Alright. Nature guy got rid of this guy. Four, 5, 6. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need 13 more. We're doing them face down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Scooch. 13. We did it. Nailed it. Okay, who's this guy? Number 37. Big dude points his finger at us. Okay, so he's like, hey, you giving out step ladders? Where's my step ladder? Well, we're out of step ladders, but what I find is that if you don't have all the things you need for your home, you can go out into nature and enjoy nature's home. And you can do that by catching fish. Oh, by the way, I think we did a good thing by giving that guy step ladders. So we're going to go ahead and give ourselves a resource for that. I'm going to say the nature guide thing is neutral, getting the nature guide to help us, but kind of good too because we gave him purpose. Her purpose, him purpose, I can't tell. Gave the nature guide purpose, so I think that's a good thing. But I kind of want to be pretty clear. I don't want to just give myself resources higgly-piggly. So maybe you would enjoy going fishing. He says, yes, I would enjoy going fishing, but I don't have any supplies. Well, here's some supplies. I'm sorry it's not a step ladder, but you can go fishing. Now, I'm not going to give myself resources for that. We helped him find a purpose. I feel like fishing's kind of neutral. It's not something I like to do because I don't think it's pleasant for the fish. I've seen fish hanging from hooks and things like that, and like hooks in their eyes, things like that. I just don't think that's pleasant. I don't know what it's like to be a fish, but if, yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what that's like. Okay, here's a bear. I don't think there's anything to it. I think it's just a bear. It's a giant bear. The bear is hungry and hasn't eaten for weeks. She begins to menace us. Ooh, okay. Okay, this is a 4. This is a 4. This is a big thing. Okay, we've got a grenade, a crossbow. We could deal with it that way, but that would definitely give us another situation. Looks like we got a buggy. Maybe the buggy is the way to get out of this one. Let's get our buggy. A slick and powerful dune buggy. Nosy, but gets you places and over terrain that most vehicles won't. And then we have some teens, it looks like. Let's talk it over. I don't think that's going to help. Talking it over with the bear. A spool of machine wire. Okay, and then finally we have handcuffs. I don't want to handcuff the bear. We're just going to run away. Run away! Oh, we also have an axe, a chalice, a monk. Okay, let's look at those, actually. We're not going to use the axe on the bear. Ideally, we would be able to feed the bear somehow, but we got rid of our fishing supplies. I don't know why this bear... There's a water right next to us, right? That's where this dude is fishing, over here. The guy with the finger. Why doesn't the bear go there and fish? Bears are very good fisher folk. A gold engraved goblet. Maybe there's something to drink inside of it. Then we have a monk with a lantern. Oh, well, this is simple. This monk here, he is interested in self-sacrifice. He's one of that kind of monk. He's always felt like he just needed to give himself for others, and has always been looking for the ultimate sacrifice, which is why he came along with us, because we're like, yeah, we're getting off this earth because, this is terrible, and we're going to do so much good where we came from, and we're going to do good on the way to find this ancient time chamber. So he says he wants to come with us, and he's just looking for this moment where he can sacrifice himself for the good of the group. And in his mind, feeding an animal as majestic as this giant bear is worthwhile, in that it helps the bear live, and then it helps so much other life live. And he's made his peace with his God and is ready to go on. So he feeds the bear. That's definitely a good thing for all involved. We pull a resource. It's a man with kind of a goatee. All right, let's move on. Some sort of machine. Okay. It is a army tank approaches. That's an army tank! I guess we're probably since it's a problem, I guess we're probably not where we're supposed to be. Maybe we're in base territory, I guess, when we went over that fence with the sign that we didn't bother reading. That might have been a problem. Let's come to an understanding with them. So army tank comes towards us, and we wave our arms. Say, please stop. When I say we, I mean me and you, because you're here with me doing this, right? Hey, stop! We're lost. Could you help us? And this guy with a helmet comes. You shouldn't be here. There's mines and everything everywhere, and this is a facility that's reserved. Yes, I know. I help pay for you to protect us, and I really appreciate you protecting us. Actually, I was just lost because in trying to find my way somewhere. It was the strangest thing. I was in this field, and there was this ray, and I felt this throbbing in my ears, and my teeth started to chatter. And he's like, "You better come with us." Yes, we better work together on this problem. Let's shake hands. And he can't help but shake my hand because it's a 5 card. And he shakes my hand, and then we become best friends with the army. Papa. Okay, let's move on. Here, so the army, they send us off on a special mission to find the source of this ray that we lied about. And the special mission takes us to a sphinx. We're dropping into Egypt. Inside the small structure on the forehead of the Sphinx is a scroll with important instructions about where to go next in our journey. So we told the army that that's where we were when we got the ray shooting us from the thing. And so they're like, okay, well, maybe there's some connection with you, because when we send our troops, they don't notice anything. So we're going to send you there, and we're going to surveil you. Go ahead and paradrop in. So we're going to paradrop in, but unfortunately we missed the place where the scroll is, which is up there, because we're not practiced at paradropping. That means dropping in a parachute. So we land. It's a 5. I would think we could use the crossbow to like shoot a rope up, but the crossbow's a 4, so we can't do that. So we're going to make use of city services nearby Cairo. We're going to hire a guy with a ladder truck to take us out there, and we're going to use the ladder to climb up. And then we're going to get some archaeologists to help us open the thing from the city services. The Archaeology Guild is going to help us, and then we get past that. I think that's kind of neutral too. I mean, it's good that the U.S. government is paying some archaeologists to do work, but I think they kind of do that anyway. All right, so here we have, what is this lady? Is a cult leader or something? Number 50. So the instructions tell us to go seek out this woman. She's a beautiful, charismatic speaker. She's very persuasive. She wants us to join her religious movement. She is a cult leader. Collect donations, work on behalf of the cause, and do her bidding. Yes, save souls. Well, it seems like we could just do that. I don't know why this is a situation. So we bring to her our special holy book. And we're like, yes, we think a lot of your teachings are in line with what's in this book here. And I think it could really help you and help us to help others find the way forward through the ghost of the insect confluence. So what she believes is that, like, every time a bug dies, they join this like mass soul. The reason why there's bugs everywhere is because the bugs are kind of like their mass soul is kind of enwrapping the world, and then it's kind of like binding all life within this soul. And so as they die, that kind of adds power to it, but it decreases like connection points. So the idea is to get the right balance between dead and living bugs. And she fears that there's like too many dead bugs. So there's a lot of power in this like soul net, but not enough like cohesion, because the living give the bug soul net a shape and a form and kind of help channel all that soul energy. So this book actually says like what the right ratios of dead to living bugs are, and it also talks about just kind of standard, like, is it etymology? Is that's not the study of bugs, is it? The study of bugs, it talks about that, and just kind of like what kind of bugs there are, where bugs live, what bugs like to do, things like that, which she kind of overlooked that kind of stuff. It's like, really, this says a little bit about, the right levels of bugs, but it also just kind of gives some basic biology, bug biology. That's helpful to her. And so she's appreciative of that. She says, oh, you've helped me so much. So that lets us look ahead. And since I think we helped her there, I'm going to take another resource. We got a sword and shield. We got a lot of weapons. Okay, here we have like a dead man or a man falling or something like that. And then coming up is a child sleeping. A couple of interesting situations we have to deal with. 31 and 30, respectively. So the one we have to deal with immediately, unconscious and down. Someone has fallen unconscious. One of us, someone we don't know. What's the cause? We have to do something quickly. I think it's you who are unconscious and I have to save you. And then the other one is a deadly virus strikes. Okay, so you're unconscious. We have to save you. Thankfully, we've got this chalice of of smelling salts. And so we pour the smelling salts in your nose with the chalice, and you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm so sick. Oh, oh shoot, it could have been a chalice of medicine. But then our friend Schmitty comes up, Schmitty the fairy. She says, I know much of the way of the spirits. It's when the bug essence is low. We must crush some bugs over her head. That's what you look like. And then she will be well again as she is reconnected to the bug net, the bug soul net. So we do that. I think that's kind of neutral. We help your sickness, sure, but we've killed some bugs. Though I guess that helps the bug soul net. We'll just keep that neutral. I think making you conscious again, though, that was a positive. So here we'll take some logs or something. Here's some logs. All right, moving on. Have some water. A thick forest. No. A rushing rocky river. We must deal with this dangerous river. Well, if you look at the top here, you see that there's some... Oh, how did we get here? Oh, gosh, I totally lost it. Before we were having a dream, and that's when we did all the army stuff. When we woke you up from your unconsciousness, we actually woke ourselves up too, and then we were like, oh, it was all a fever dream. I forgot we went into dream time like towards the beginning, didn't we? So now we're like by this water, and we're like, oh gosh, no wonder we slept so long. The water sound like was very relaxing. That's a big problem. We're going to fall asleep again if we don't dam up this river. So we're going to shovel a bunch of coal into the river where these rocks are, and have the rocks and the coal work together to dam up the river, and so it stops. So we're not going to have to worry about falling asleep again for a while. Great. Okay, moving on. That's a neutral one. You could say it's negative, but I think when you make a dam, it helps some, hurts others. So, oh, it's our friend. It's an alien. An alien appears and mentally examines us. He begins to use his powerful mind through his eyes to control us. It is clear that he wants to take us away to his spaceship and begin genetic experiments. Although that would be helpful to the alien, it would keep us away from our ultimate goal, which is to reach the time chamber and get off this horrible place. I mean, that would get us off this horrible place, but it would get us off the horrible place in the power of others, and we want to be off in this horrible place in our wonderland, wherever we're from. I don't know why we left that place in the first place. Well, he's going to use alien technology on us. We're going to use alien technology back. Use ET spectroscope to reverse his power onto himself, which is actually a good thing because he's going to learn a lot about his own genetics, something that he'd never stopped to consider. He was so busy studying others that he never took a moment to self-reflect and wonder, why are my genetics having me do this? Why don't my genetics have me do other things? What could I do with my genetics to change my ways? Of course, that doesn't... He only thinks about that for a little bit. Then he realizes, hey, these guys, they have some pretty special equipment too. Maybe they are also, maybe they're like an equal intellect. And so he lets us go. He feels like it's against their ethics. It's okay to study people that you think are dumber than you, like bears and stuff. But it's not okay to study species that are your intellectual equals. And we prove that with our high-tech stethoscope. All right, here we have a foot or a knee injury maybe. I would say that solution was positive. Ooh, this guy's going to help us with our knee injury, I think. He's the perfect guy to help us with our knee injury. Number 29, it's an injured leg. So we slept for so long. This guy like kind of picked us up right after we woke up. We hadn't moved in a while, and it turned out you were sleeping on your leg weird. So it's kind of asleep and kind of hard to do things. So we have this card that says sometimes hiding is the best policy. So I think we just hide until you get the feeling back in your leg. And I was hoping he was a massage therapist, but he's not. He's sometimes hiding is the best policy. So we'll just like chill out in these bushes till you get your feeling back, kind of like, shiver. Let's get cold and shiver, and that'll like make the blood flow, right? And that'll work. Okay, I'll call that neutral. Helps your leg, but that was kind of the point of the thing. But then into the bushes slithers, well, kind of on their belly, a crocodile, or is it an alligator? Let's find out. I can't tell the difference. Some people can tell. It has to do with where the eyes are, but I just can't remember which is which. It's a crocodile. We start to cross the... No, we don't start to cross the river. It comes into the bushes. So they want you to tell a story, but then they have like things that are like phrases of a story in there, right? But it would help if they just said the situation, and then you could kind of incorporate it into the story rather than like say when we start to cross the river. We're not crossing the river. We just dammed the river so it would stop putting us to sleep, right? So this crocodile comes out of the river, maybe because we dammed it, and wants to chomp us, I think. He wants to chomp us with his teeth. We only have 1 5 card left, which is a big problem. Well, let's rub the lamp and get the genie out to help. Now, I wonder if you can combine cards to, like if you combine 2 numbers to deal with something. That would be cool. Let's look at the medium game rules to see. Resource card. Yeah, you can combine cards. I like that. Okay, well let's save our I don't know if I want to combine 2 cards either yet, though. Let's just go ahead and use the genie. We'll use the genie lamp to rub it, and the crocodile is really coming to it. He like eats people because he's hungry, but also because he's lonely. So we'll let him live with this genie, who's also lonely, and in the lamp. And the fun fact: you're never hungry if you're in a genie lamp, and so that solves the problem. I think that's a good thing. And we get to look at the next 2. The crocodile goes to live with our genie. Unfortunately, the genie then puffs out of existence because that was kind of our 1 wish. It's a 1 wish thing in this mythos. But we do get another card, and it's some cosmic baubles. Let's see what our new resource is. It's number 28, which are a variety of crystals. Different crystals are said to have different powers. In the hands and mind of the right person, these crystals will work magic. Only you know how to employ for the best results. Uh-oh, but there's like a fight or something. Okay, so we're done hiding. Your leg's better. A gang beating. 2 youths are beating up someone in the woods. Okay, this is a big problem. What we need to do is get some teen talk. All right, guys, youths, let's settle down. Let's rap and work this out. Hey, he was doing something to my grandpa. That wasn't me. That was my brother. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm glad we had this teen talk. Me too. Hey, man, sorry for beating you up. Do you want to go to the movies with some sodas? Okay, that sounds great. I feel much better now and all my wounds are better. Great, now we're best friends. Yeah, let's be best friends. Thanks, teen. All right, so the teen talk worked wonders, and it made the world better because instead of there being fighting teens, there's like teens helping the movie industry, which is what the movie industry needs. Here we have a donkey. Yes! All right, but here we have a situation, and it looks like it's a wall or something with boats. A broken bridge and big castle. Okay, so, guys, we have spent so much time by this bush. We need to get to that castle that's just on the other side of the forest. So let's just go there now. We'll just do a smash cut. Boom. We're right outside the castle. There's a broken bridge, though, and that's going to make it a little hard to get into the castle. Let's see who this goateed man is. I think he might be able to help us right here. That's number 12. A man thinking. Well, let's think about this a second. So we think about it and we're like, oh, hey, if we use our cool crossbow to, like get some vines and attach them to the crossbow, we'll shoot it and we'll like climb up across the bridge, castle, tower. We'll do it to the tower, yeah. All right, good thinking. What was your name again? Oh, my name's Andy. Thanks for helping us, Andy. We'll see you later. Bye. What did I just do? Oh yeah, I've got to take the situation too. All right, 2 left. Up in the tower, we find a crying baby. Or an abandoned baby. And that was a neutral thing going across a bridge. Yeah, it is an abandoned baby. In the tower, there's a baby. A cold, hungry, crying baby. Abandoned. What should we do? So unless we leave the baby, I don't think there's anything that we could do that wouldn't be good. Generally, if you do something with an abandoned baby. We have this clown here. We also have a security officer. It's not a police officer, it's a security officer. What does it say in here? An official badge. Okay, it's just a badge. It's not actually a policeman that we could just have take the baby. Tree roots. And then a flying business fellow, number 4, is turn on the jets. Oh, that just means run. I like that this is their image for speed. Ta-da! Like a businessman. Okay, so, and I hope this is a clown. Oh, it's a disguise. Oh. Alright, we gotta take care of this baby. We do have a donkey. I got the perfect plan. Okay, we take this official badge and it's actually a social worker's badge. We put it on the donkey and strap the baby to the donkey's back and send the donkey down the stairs to the tower. And donkeys are very good caretakers, and since the donkey has the badge, people won't look askance at it because there's a lot of prejudice against other species that we have, like, oh, donkeys can't take care of a baby. Well, that's speciesist. All right, it's okay. Donkeys can take care of a baby, especially if they're credentialed, and this donkey is credentialed. So baby taken care of. We did good for the world. Let's take a resource. We got some awesome keys. We are humming and drumming and bim bam bumming. We are on our way back home off this horrible rock they call the Earth. And there's skeleton keys. Here we have a wheelchair race competitor, maybe. There's that. What's that game called? Donkey Ball. Is that done with weird wheelchairs? Number 34. Let's see what this situation is all about. An armed robber. Oh no, wrong one. A crippled man. He is old, in very poor health, and helpless without his wheelchair. His need is great. Do we stop our journey here? So we have to either help him or feel so guilty. Well, I think we could hand him our buggy, and that would help him get around a lot better. That's number 50. I think we give him our buggy and no. Sorry, I'm just looking up what certain things are. It's a pile of logs. Okay. Let's use this. We'll couple this just to make it even better for him. We'll put this circuit board in the buggy, which helps with life support. I'm going to say that's neutral because I don't think it's necessarily great to prolong the life of someone who is very old. Because if we keep doing that, we're going to eventually run out of resources for everyone, especially since we don't distribute our resources very efficiently. So that's one of the problems we're going to be looking at in the future here, or near future as of now, is that as medical technology gets better, we're going to have a harder time because, there's less for the young then. All right. Not to say you should just kill this guy, but we're going to help him. Anyway, I just don't think it's a net positive or a net negative. That's all I'm saying. Okay, now we're at our time machine. We're not going to try to use everything because we have the keys that just started up and the crystals which go on it, and then we have our festive costumes, the crystals that power it, right? Because that's what crystals do. And then we have our costumes, which so story-wise, I guess we went down the tower, and there was this guy who was just sitting next to the time machine, and he's like, all I have to live for is taking care of this time machine. If you take it, I'm going to be awfully sad. So we gave him a new lease on life with the buggy and the circuit board. Okay, and so we have a festive costume for when we go home to impress our friends. Look what we got on our vacation on Earth. We got this awesome clown outfit. And then, ooh, what's this item? We're almost done here. Handcuffs. I don't know if we're going to use handcuffs. And we'll bring these along. We'll, like, chew on these and see what that does to us. I don't know. I think we did it, right? We're off again. I don't know why we came back to Earth. It was much harder to get off this time, or it took longer, but we did it. And I think that's something to be proud of. So great job. Thanks for joining me on this final journey into this final dip into Not an Island. You got to see what the kind of the hard game is like. There's a bit more thought that you can't just use any card. You have to go with the number, and you really got to think about, you got to have those philosophical or those ethical considerations in mind, which, makes for a different sort of game. So I think both ways are fun in different ways, and both are valid ways to play. So thanks for this double dip. Thank you. Thank Jim Deacove for this double dip into Not an Island. We'll see you next time. I think tomorrow we're going to do Eye of the Jungle for our dip into Deacove.